Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know in the live chat if I'm audible and you can hear me okay. I'm using a new mic. Mic check, mic check. Can you all in the live chat hear me okay? What's up, what's up, what's up? Let me know in the live chat if you can hear me clearly. What's up, what's up, what's up? I think my mic is good. Let me know in the live chat if you all can hear me okay. In the live chat, I'm using a new mic. I want to make sure everyone can hear me clearly before I get started. Mic check, mic check. Can you all hear me okay, ladies and gentlemen? Can you hear me okay? Can you give me a thumbs up in the live chat if you can hear me okay? I'm testing out a new microphone. I want to make sure everyone can hear me clearly. Mic check, mic check. Can you all in the live hear me okay? I want to make sure that that you all can hear me clearly before I get started. Give me a thumbs up in the live chat if you can hear me clearly. Mic check, mic check. Give me a thumbs up in the live chat if you can hear me clearly. Testing out this new mic. Want to make sure everyone can hear me clearly before I get started. $430.26. $430.26 trading Tesla today. Where else can you do this? Ladies and gentlemen, where else can you do this? All right, where else can you make $430.26? All right. Traded Tesla today and made $430.26. Tell me, where can you do this? Is there another way in this world, in this country, where you can make $430.26? Let me know in the live chat if there's anywhere, any other way you can make $430.26 like I did today in the stock market. $430.26. All right. Tell me, is there any other place where you could do this? Appreciate the follow, Dwayne. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Is there any way you can make $430.26? And I want you all to know that yesterday I traded AMD and I lost 400 and I think it was like $460. Well, $490, just to say $490. All right. And today I was explaining to everyone on the live, I said, listen, you have to be patient. You don't chase trades. The setup will present itself again. The opportunity will present itself again, and you'll have ample opportunities to trade and get money. All right. And that's exactly what happened today. I focused on patience, executed my strategy to the letter, and made $430 in 26 seconds. 26 seconds. I mean, how many people would love to make that type of money in a short period of time? And I know it seems difficult to comprehend and wrap your mind around, but it's the reality of the situation. And if you were to ask, how is it that people are able to make so much money in a relatively short period of time trading stock options. It's because there's $50 trillion flowing through the marketplace every single day on average. That's how. That's your how. 50 trillion. Wrap your mind around that for a second. $50 trillion. All right. If you didn't know. So for you to jump into the market any week of the 52 weeks or any day of 300 well, there's only 265 trading days in a year. But for you to jump into a trading day any week or any day of the 265 trading days that's available within the year, it's simple for you to jump in and grab a couple of $100 to a couple of $1,000 or greater. All right. It's not that difficult. It's not complicated at all. And take it from me, a person that's been working as a software engineer for the past 10 years. All right. This right here is not complicated. Learning how to become a software engineer, yeah, that's complicated. All right. That's complicated. It takes a special mind to be able to sit in front of a computer and code, hundreds to thousands of lines of code for, some sort of software. So that takes a special type of mind to do that. But this $430 in 26 seconds, $430 in 26 seconds. All right. So what I want to do today is talk about what I did today. Okay. I traded Tesla. This was day one after earnings. All right. Earnings for Tesla was yesterday, Wednesday. All right. It was Wednesday. And today, as I expected, I explained this to a lot of people in my previous live sessions, what I was expecting from Tesla day one after earnings and day two after earnings. So day two after earnings is tomorrow, and we'll take a look and see what that looks like. But $430 in 26 seconds. That's impressive, right? $430 in 26 seconds. Man, what's the point? I grew up in the projects. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Highland Park is my borough. It's a city inside of Detroit. And obviously, I grew up in the urban community. A lot of drugs, hustlers, and the whole nine, right? And it was so, that type of lifestyle was so heavily influenced upon people like myself, like, young people growing up in the neighborhood. And but to me, I always thought that there was another way that you can make money just as fast. And this is it. This is it. This is it. $430 in 26 seconds. All right. You don't have to stand out on no corners. You don't have to stand on no corners. All right. You don't have to hurt your community. You don't have to hurt people. Um, as it was growing up in the community that I grew up in. I always thought there was a better way, and trading stock options is that way. If you're looking for a quick hustle, if you're like me and you grew up in, urban area, uh, poor community, a lot of drug dealers, a lot of influence, because they're showing you all the money that they've been making and the fancy cars and jewelry and all of that good stuff. This was what I had to, go through when I was growing up in Detroit. But like I said, I always felt like there was a better alternative or a better option than choosing that path. All right. I always felt and believed in my soul that there was a better path than choosing to sell drugs just to make money to take care of myself and my loved ones. And lo and behold, 46 years later, I finally discovered what that is. And it's trading stock options. $430 in 26 seconds. No standing out on those street corners, no selling, harmful drugs that can hurt people, hurt the community, and stuff like that. And I try to tell people, even when I was growing up, man, I'm not the one to try to spend time in nobody else's prisons being told what to do. In fact, when I was in the military, I hated that. I hated being told what to do anyway. They tell you when to wake up, they tell you when to go to sleep, they tell you what you got to do to, go to work, go do this, go do that. And they'll take your money and take your freedom the same way um, it would happen if you were in the civilian world, right? In terms of law enforcement or breaking the law, doing some sort of criminal activity. But yeah, this is it, man. This is it. $430 in 26 seconds. 26 seconds. I did that in one candle. In one candle. Okay. In less than 60 seconds. Where can you do that? Where can you do that? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the likes. Um, for those of you who just tapped in, I'm basically talking about how quickly I made money today, $430 in 26 seconds. And it seems unbelievable to a lot of people. It seems difficult to wrap your mind around, to fully comprehend that this is even possible. But the truth of the matter is, it is. And why is it? It's because it's $50 trillion flowing through the marketplace on average every single day. Every single day. And if you grew up like me, obviously I grew up in what's described as the projects, the hood, urban community, whatever you want to call it. Man, I just grew up in a neighborhood where there was a lot. What I was surrounded by is a lot of hustlers, drug dealers, pimps, pushers, and the whole nine. Everybody telling you this is the way to get a dollar. They showing you the money, the material, the jewelry, the cars, and all of that good stuff, the clothes. And that's what was preached when I was growing up. Man, you gotta hustle. You gotta sell drugs to get this kind of money. And I always believed in my soul that wasn't true. All right. But I just had to spend the time to find it. Now, fast forward till today, 46 years later, I found it. I found it. All right. No standing on no street corners or nothing like that. No selling drugs and performing illegal activities. No hurting my community. No hurting people. Um, you know, Selling drugs to people, all types of drugs and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Um, and it's unbelievable to many people that you can make this amount of money in a short period of time. Could you make 10,000 in 26 seconds? It could have been 10,000 in 26 seconds. But I made $430 in 26 seconds. Okay. $430 in 26 seconds. I know. I know. It seems difficult to believe. It seems difficult to believe. Drop in the live chat if you got questions about day trading stock options. You might have heard of it. You might be new. You might have some level of experience. Maybe you read up on it a little bit. Maybe you have some friends or family members that's been dabbling in it. And they've been talking to you about it. And maybe you felt that it was, I don't know, maybe you felt it was something that was too complicated. Maybe you grew up the way I did, where there was nobody around you who actually understood the opportunity and how quickly you can make money trading stock options, and just how easy and simple it is to trade stock options. If you're like me, that was the case. Okay, I grew up and there was nobody around me talking about investing. All right, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Highland Park is my borough. It's a city inside Detroit. And all I grew up around was people who were hustlers, drug dealers, and so forth. All right, nobody was talking about making investments. But did you know day trading stock options was available 50 years ago? 50 years ago. Okay, I'm 46 now. I'm 46 large. I had no idea that you could hop online and make money. I literally hopped online at 8:30. If I pull up my journal here, I hopped online. The market opened for me at 8:30 a.m. Central. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I jumped in the trade at 8:35 a.m. All right. And within that same minute, like I said, 26 seconds, I'm up $430. $430 in 26 seconds. 26 seconds. Okay. They don't even, you can't even record that in the journal. It happened so quickly. Yo, you can't even put it in the journal. You can only put hours and minutes. And so it can't even record like how quick that was. $430 in 26 seconds. All right, yeah, you might find it hard to believe. There's so many people talking about, man, it just seems unreal. I can't believe it. I can't fathom that it's that possible to make that kind of money in a short period of time. Well, the truth is, it's possible. It's possible. Don't let anyone tell you different. Okay. Don't let anyone deceive you and tell you different. I can provide you with the evidence. And not only that, if you want, I can walk you through the steps on how to do it. By the way, I have I started a giveaway this week, and I posted a video on my channel, so you can feel free to check that out as well. But I started a giveaway. Listen, I'm making money as an investor in trading stock options, so I have the means to be able to do that and pay it forward to bless someone else, right, with the opportunity to start making this kind of money. All right. So anyway, I have a giveaway. I started this giveaway this week, and the winner will receive anywhere between $300 and $1,000. Guess what? Do you know how much you need to get started as a investor trading stock options? You only need $100. Hard to believe, right? $100, and you can begin growing your money and taking advantage of compounding. Okay, what's described as compounding. All right. And we could talk about that. I can provide more details about that as well. But anyway, the giveaway, the winner will receive 300 up to as high as $1,000. And I will use this money. I will provide this money to fund the winner's brokerage account, put the money in the brokerage account. And I'm going to provide the signals when to enter the trade and when to exit the trade. And we're going to talk through it so that the winner understands exactly what's happening so they can learn step by step. Okay. And the only thing we'll do from that point is rinse and repeat. The drawing ends third week of August. Third week of August. That's when the drawing ends. Okay. And to participate in the drawing, all you have to do is DM me and say, hey, I want to participate in the drawing. And that's it. There's no other requirements. Now, how will the winner be selected? It's thunder and lightning. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That was pretty loud. Man, I get super scared. I'll be like, yo, God, please, 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 please. All right. Because I don't play around with God. He means business. All right. But anyway, so how will I announce the winner and select the winner? The winner will be selected and announced the following week. All right. So the drawing ends the third week of August, and the winner will be selected and announced the following week, Friday. And basically, I'm going to go live to select the winner and announce the winner. And what will I use to select the winner? The winner. I'm going to use a free online number generator. Okay, a free online number generator. Appreciate the likes, Dave. Appreciate the likes. So yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. And like I said, to participate, all you have to do is DM me and state simply, I want to participate in the drawing. So someone will be blessed to get started. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of how to day trade. This is just that simple. I know it seems hard to believe. In fact, I had a meeting with my auntie. She's in her 60s. She's in her early 60s. The week of July 4th, I met with one of my uncles and another auntie, and they're in their 70s. All right. They're in their 70s. And they've been watching what I've been doing on my social medias, the information that I've been posting and the results that I've been posting, and they've been really impressed. And they see how easy it is. And I just spoke with my auntie and just demonstrated for her today. And she's 60. She said she was 63. So I'm telling you, young people, middle age, older, more mature, anyone can learn this. It's just that simple. This part is not complicated. And listen, there is a whole lot to learn about day trading. Okay. But you don't need to learn the A through Z in order for you to begin making money. All right. For me, I've been doing this a long time in terms of making money. All right. So I even, excuse me, I've been doing this a while. All right. I'm 46 large. All right. I'm 46 years of age. So I got the receipts. All right. If you want to know, if you want the receipt, if you want the proof, I got the receipts. All right. But listen, I'm trying to tell people that I've been working as a software engineer for the past 10 years, right? That's complicated. This, anyone can learn. Anyone. And she got it. My auntie, who's over 60 years of age, she got it. My other uncle, when I was speaking to my uncle and my other auntie on the 4th of July, they got it. Okay. I'm telling you, anyone can learn this and I can explain it to you simply. All right. So someone is going to be fortunate enough to win the giveaway. All right. Again, let me restate the giveaway. I'm giving away. I announced it this week. The giveaway is the winner will receive $300 up to $1,000. All right. This is going to go towards funding their brokerage account. I'm going to walk the winner through setting up their brokerage account and funding their brokerage account with the money I just stated. And then I'm going to walk them through step by step on what stock to trade, when to get in, when to get out, so that they can begin to learn step by step and at their own pace. This is going to be a phenomenal experience for somebody. And I'm going to keep doing this. Why? Because, man, I've been successful trading stock options. This is really fun and exciting and it's easy. All right. Maybe I'm just good at it. Okay. Maybe you can argue, well, maybe you're just good at it. All right. Well, maybe that might be true. That might be true. But the fact is that you can be good at it too. You can be good at it too. You can be even better. So don't discount yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. All right. This here is not complicated. If you wanted to become a software engineer, then I tell you, yeah, I don't know about that. All right. That might take a little bit more time. Okay. You just have to have a special mind to do that. But this $430 in 26 seconds. You impressed? Let me know in the live chat if you got questions. I will patiently walk you through and explain. I'll show you on the charts. I'll pull up Tesla. I was trading Tesla today and made $430 in 26 seconds. In 26 seconds. Where else can you do that? From your home, from the comfort of your own home, with the click of a button. With one simple click of a button. All right. I jumped in at 8:35 and was out within that same minute. Okay. Within the same minute. Jumped in at 8:35. The market opened at 8:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. All right. Soon as I jumped in, 26 seconds later, I'm up $430 and I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. Okay. You can make anywhere between, like, you can make $10, you can make $25. You can put it, like I'm trying to tell people, you only need $100 to get started, to begin making money. You can make a little bit here and keep growing it. You'll take advantage of compounding, and then you'll start to have that experience, that snowball effect, right? You all seen the cartoon where the snowball rolls downhill and forms a bigger snowball. Yeah, you'll start taking advantage of compounding. What's described as compound. Okay, compound that money. You're not going to get that from your typical checking or savings account from your financial institution, whomever you bank with. You're not going to get that. But you can get that here when you trade stock options. So some fortunate person will win. Like I said, the giveaway will end the third week of August. Third week of August. And I'm going to go live and select and announce the winner the following Friday. So if you want to participate in the giveaway, DM me simply saying, hey, I want to participate in the giveaway. I want to learn how to day trade stock options. The winner, I'm going to walk the winner through how to set up their account. I'm going to get them started. Then I'm going to put the money in there, provide them with the money to put in their brokerage account. And then I'm going to provide them with the signals to what stock to trade, when to get in and when to get out. All right. If your mentor is winning, you will win. My mentor is super, super, super great. And like I said, I'm 46 years large. All right. I'm 46 years of age. My mentor, guess how old he is? Drop in a live chat if you got questions. I'll pause periodically and answer your question. Are you selling a product too? No, no, no. No, no, I'm not selling a product, Naomi. Um, I don't sell anything. I extend everything that I learn for free. No gatekeeping on my end. I will never ask you to pay for anything because it's not necessary. Whatever you want to learn, whatever questions, however many questions you need to ask, I'm happy to answer all of them. All of them. No gatekeeping on this end. So, yeah, I'm not selling a product. This is how much money I made day trading in 26 seconds. 26 seconds. $430 in 26 seconds. I want to learn, but these people are selling products for $800. Yeah, I know. And then um, now I'm not knocking people for selling, their knowledge, their experience, their expertise. I mean, it's cool to capitalize on that if you spent the time to learn how to do it. The problem I have with the way people offer these types of products or services or packages is they don't give you an opportunity to actually see if it works. So then they end up taking your money. They tell you it's a guarantee, and then they tell you you get your money back, and then they don't, or then it's some hassle to get your money back, or you feel shortchanged. Maybe there's no 101 real experience, and you're not getting the information you need to become productive or successful. So yeah, that's the part that I hate. But no, I'll never ask any of you to pay anything, a dime. I don't need it. Look, I make it look. It's easy for me to jump into the market and make money. I don't need to get money from other people. And that's another thing, right? Don't you hate when people tell you they're millionaires or multimillionaires and then they're trying to charge you for something to get started? It's like, but you're a millionaire. Can't you let me pay you from the money you helped me make? I hate that part. But yeah, good evening. What's up, money? What's up, money? I see you. Many blessings to you. Appreciate you. Dave, appreciate you. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the follows. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the live chat and I will pause periodically to drop them. So yeah, Naomi, I will answer every single question free, no gatekeep. You can already ask some of the people who's been joining my live. I don't play around and I will take the time. I'm very patient. I'll walk you through step by step. I'll repeat as many times as necessary. I don't mind. I don't mind. Let's see. So, what system or platform are you using here? So, this is my for trading. Let me get specific. For trading, I use Thinkorswim. That's the brokerage account, but there's several you can use. It doesn't matter which one you decide to choose. I can walk you through navigating any of them. I am tech savvy. I've been working as a software engineer for the past 10 years. So I know how applications work and it's easier for me to learn it. So I can provide you with the video step by steps. It doesn't matter. You could choose Robinhood, IBKR, Weeble, or Thinkorswim. Either one, I can walk you through it. And to analyze what the stocks are doing or what the market is doing, I use TradingView. And this is TradingView. Just really quick, tradingview.com is the website. It's free. It's free. You don't even have to create an account to start viewing the charts. All right. You could pop on tradingview.com and check out any stock. You can also check out that stock specific news or news specific to that stock, by the way. Let's see. Did you follow my trade today? No, tell me what we could talk about that too, money. We could talk about that too. Let's see. When you started, how much did you start with? Good question, Naomi. Good question. So let me tell you. Now I do have the means to. So I was trading like 10,000. My first week I made $20,000. Let me just put it that way. Because I was trading positions like between $10,000 and $50,000. All right. So I do have, like I said, I'm good with money. I know how to grow money. But here's what I've been doing for the past 3 months. Okay. I was looking for the whole year, the entire year, starting in 2024. coming into 2025, I was looking for the right mentor. Whenever I get started with something, I do my due diligence and I search for as long as it's necessary to find the right mentor. And I found two. I paid the money to join their mentorship. One in particular, I've been sharing with my all those who've been joining me live recently. And he's 24 years of age, multimillionaire, really good trade, been day trading for 7 years. Uses simple language to explain these concepts. Love it. But anyway, my point is that within his community and my other mentors community, there were many new traders voicing their concern about the cost of the contracts, right? They were like, "Oh man, what do I do if I can't afford to buy these contracts because some of them are too expensive?" And I noticed that there's a whole list, right? There's a whole list of contracts you could choose from, and they vary in price. All right, they vary in price. So there's expensive ones, and then there's cheaper ones. But nobody was talking about the cheaper ones. And I did my due diligence to find out, well, can you make money with these cheaper contracts that's cost as little as $100? And that's what I've been doing for the past 3 months. Okay, and that's what I've been talking about for the past 2 weeks, trying to show people how you can make money with just a little bit of money. Okay, if I zoom in here on my journal, just really quick, you can see, look at the cost of these contracts, right? $53 per contract, $340 a contract, $95 a contract, $221 a contract, and so on. 183. So if you have bought, let's say, for example, one contract, $313, one Tesla contract last week, Wednesday or Thursday, guess how much you would have made? Last week. This is last week. Don't get me wrong. Don't think that this is always going to be the case. But if you had did this Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, you'd be up $600 with just that one contract. Obviously, you can see in the quantity here, I'm buying multiple. So we could talk about that later. But yeah. So cheaper contracts, Naomi, you can start with cheaper contracts. I can show you how to do this and walk you through step by step, no problem. All you have to do is either continue to watch my live or just DM me anytime you have a question. We can walk you through setting up your account if you don't have one. I'll walk you through all of that. So whatever you need, however many questions you have, feel free to drop them in my DM and I will answer each of them. Money, let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that. Let me check the other questions here just to make sure I'm not missing anybody. DJ Trez, what's up? You said, what's your strategy? It's called the breakout and retest strategy. I've been talking about that in my previous lives. This is what I learned from my mentors, both of my mentors. It's called a breakout and retest strategy. If you guys want me to walk you through that during this live session, I can do that during this live session also. I can demonstrate that for you if you want me to do that. But yeah, it's called the breakout and retest strategy. Money, you said, I put out a SPY level trade every day, free in my post. Yeah, let's link up. Let me tap in with you and we could talk about that. Plus, for those of you who have experience like Money, we can network together. We can, do a co-host live and we can share different points of view so people can get different points of views and see what your edge is and compare edges or take advantage of, multiple edges. Nice job, Money. Naomi, nice. Yeah, I got you. OTM are cheap and deep in the money, care more expensive. Yeah, out the money are cheap and deep in the money are more expensive. Yeah, exactly. What's that? Clock that? Is that clock that, Naomi? I had a friend, she always does that. Those little two fingers, the little finger pinches, something like that. I love it. Money, you swing trade? If so, how many days till expiration? I've been swing trading a little bit, but mostly day trading. So I'm currently looking today. After I closed out on my trade, I started looking for swing trades, and I noted 4 stocks that I'm interested in swinging. So I'll talk about that if you're interested in discussing that as well. If you have more experience in swing trading or leap trading, let me know. because I could take some pointers from you as well. Angela, sink or swim is a good one. Um, why do you call it sink or swim? Yeah, it's a good one. It has more features. It's more feature rich than the other brokerages. From my research in Trading View. I need something easy. I have no idea what I'm doing. Angela, I got you. Okay, I got you. I will walk you through step by step. No problem. I will use simple language to explain everything. You can ask those who've already been joining my live. I am very patient. I will walk you through step by step. You'll see just how easy this is. Trust me. Like, I would not be telling you guys this if it was not so. All right. Which is why I'm offering the giveaway, because someone will be fortunate enough to receive that the winning, right? The 300 to up to as high as $1,000. I'm going to get you started. I'm going to walk you through step by step. I'm going to tell you which stock to select. I'm going to point out when to get in. I'm going to tell you when to get out, and we're going to rinse and repeat. And then you'll get to provide your testimony. As you begin to learn, we're going to walk through it slowly, step by step, so you can learn. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate the likes. Wow, man, y'all got me up to 2K likes. Man, I love it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the likes. Naomi said, thank you. I got you. What is a contract? Angela, good question. Feel free to continue dropping your questions in the live chat, and I will answer each of them one at a time. I will not ignore uh, any question, whatever your questions are, or feedback, or suggestions, or advice. I'm open to it all. We can discuss it all. What is a contract? Let's talk about that. Maybe I should pull up Thinkorswim too to kind of provide a better visual. But let's use my journal, for example. If you guys want me to pull up Thinkorswim, just let me know. I'll do that too. But let's use this as an example, okay? What we have in day trading is you have, or not day trading, as far as the stock market, you have what's called stocks, aka shares. Those two terms are synonymous, right? If you wanted to make money trading stocks and shares, it would cost a lot of money to do so. All right. We're talking tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to make money with shares. Okay. And many of these companies, the shares will be so expensive, right? Take Tesla, for example. Tesla is currently trading for $305. So one share would cost you $305. And so that one single share may not make you much money at all. Okay. At all. All right. So what is a contract, you ask? A contract allows you to control a large number of shares without owning them. You get control of them, but you don't own them, right? And so that's the key. That's the benefit of what we call options trading. You get the power to control a large number of shares, aka stocks, without owning it. So you get the right to make money off of a large number of shares, aka stocks. And so one contract, okay, to be specific, one contract controls 100 shares, aka stocks. One contract controls 100. This is the same for any stock that you choose, okay? One option contract will control 100 shares. So you can see why it's easy to make so much money in a little bit of time. Angela, does that answer your question? Let me know in the chat. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Have to go. Good night. Oh man, money. Maybe we'll connect next time, but I'll go ahead and check them out. Check out the video. DJ Tez, you asked, let's see, how much percentage of a trade you want to gain? For me, my goal is 3 to 7%. How did I come up with that number? Might be your follow-up question. It's not a random number. I didn't guess this or pull it out of thin air. What I did is I looked at what my financial institution offers for its financial products. Okay. That's your savings, that's your checking, that's your high yield savings, that's your CDs and other financial products. And the average, I bank with Navy Federal, by the way, um, obviously because I was a military vet. So I'm using a federal Navy Federal, which is a credit union, and they offer decent rates, but you're not going to get much money on those returns. So yeah, the average is like, you might get 2.5, three, up to 3.5%. On the CD, you might get like between 2.5 to 4.5%. And that might not even be compounded. Okay. It just might be simple interest. If you know about that, if you don't, I can explain that as well. We could talk about that and dive deeper into that also. But to answer your question, that's how I chose that number. So I chose a number greater than what my financial institution offers. Okay. So I wanted to, and it's all simple math. It's all simple math. You can use Chat GPT, by the way, for those of you who are interested, and you can say, hey, if I earned 3 to 7% on X amount, let's say $100, you'll see how quickly, given the way compounding works, that can grow to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Did you know that if you made $300 per day, day trading stock options, you will earn a six-figure salary by the end of the year? Did you know that? If you didn't, you know now. So yeah, you can use Chat GPT or DeepSeek to, or Google Gemini to do that simple math calculation, and it will definitely share with you. Oh, you meant Thinkorswim, Naomi? Yeah, yeah. I thought you was taking jabs at Thinkorswim, saying Thinkorswim. Somebody else had another funny one, but they were actually literally taking jabs at Thinkorswim. So Tyler, let's see. You said, should you prefer working alone as an investor, or do you find it more beneficial? Uh, excuse you said, do you prefer working alone as an investor, or do you find it more beneficial? Well, it just really depends. I just like I just like investing. I just like investing. Period. I think given my, like I said, I am 46. I am 46 large. All right. So I am 46 years of age. I do have quite a bit of experience, right? I got tech background as a software engineer. I've been a manager. I've been in customer service. I've been, warehouse, fast food. And I wasn't really fond of managing, although I was good at it. But I really wasn't fond of it. But you know what I like with the market and about coding is it's just 101. Doesn't have anything to do with like dealing with people's emotions. If you sell a product or a service, you do have to um, pay very close attention to that. And everybody's different. You can't apply the same, approach to every person because every person is different and what they're feeling, what they're thinking, that changes day to day. But this here, there's no emotions about trading, only your own. And that's the only thing you have to master in order to be successful here. If you have good money management skill, you only need three ingredients to be successful at investing in stock options. One, money management skills. Two, self-control. And three, discipline. If you have all three of those already, you're going to do fine. If you lack one or more of those, then you have to overcome those. And I can show you how to do that also. Did that answer your question, Tyler? Hopefully that answered your question. Let's see. Let me know if I didn't, and I will do my best to answer your question. So let's see. Any other questions? Yeah, $430 in 26 seconds today. Where else can you do that? Where else can you do that? Appreciate the love, appreciate the likes. Let's see. Yes. If someone found out that you as a stranger, let's see. Yes, if someone found out that you as a stranger, would you accept doing a partnership if they asked? Yeah, talk to me about what you have in mind. I'm not really sure. I understand the question fully, but talk to me, elaborate a little bit what you mean, what you have in mind, and I'm happy to collaborate, network, and do all of those things. So we can take a look. and explore what that looks like and go from there. Like I said, I don't charge for anything that I'll offer. Everything that I'm offering is free of charge. I don't charge for anything. Okay. Um, I want people to learn. I want those who are struggling to get ahead, those who are living paycheck to paycheck, to understand there's a alternative to settling for these ridiculous title loans, payday loans, high interest rate loans, and so on. Okay. And struggling living paycheck to paycheck because I was that at one point. All right. I was homeless 3 times in my life. Okay. I was homeless 3 times in my life. All right, so I know the struggle. I was working dead end jobs too, or these jobs that weren't going anywhere. All right, even in the military, I struggled. As a young person, just trying to figure out my way, and understand what I was good at. So yeah, I understand. Anthony, with these contracts, do they tell you how much the entry costs are? Yeah, yeah, they do. Maybe I should pull up. Do you guys want me to pull up Think or Swim so we can walk through what that looks like? If you do, I can go ahead and pull it up. Uh, he said, "You like that, bro? Sugar free boy." I love the handle. I love that, bro. May God continue to bless you. Thank you, man. I talk to God every day. That's what I'm saying. I be talking to him every day. He was guiding me even when I was homeless, guiding me through learning everything, learning from my experience. Like I said, I was homeless 3 times. So I understand the struggle. And so my goal is to pay it forward. Everything God allowed me to learn, that's what I'm trying to pay forward to those who want to learn and understand how to begin to succeed and grow their money so they no longer have to depend on, living paycheck to paycheck. Listen, I was earning a 6 figure salary as a software engineer. I was making really good money. It doesn't compare to make what I'm making as a trading stock options, though. I'm like, yo, do you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep saying the masculine form. Ladies and gentlemen, do y'all know I was working 60-hour weeks as a software engineer? Yo, I'm saying like it was stressful. It was stressful. They be having these ridiculous deadlines. They don't even care if stuff don't work fully. Like these companies are just so profit driven. It's ridiculous. Like they will make you hate something that you love so much. And I love software engineering, but they was making me hate it in terms of working for some employer. And so I'm like, yo, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this at all. All right. But it doesn't compare to what I can do and how much money I'm able to make trading stock options. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Tyler, could you I'm sorry, fam. Like don't be mad at me. Like elaborate on what you're looking for, what you mean exactly on the question. Just expound a little bit. Or just DM me and I could check out the DM and see exactly what you're referring to. But be patient with me. I'm sorry, I'm not fully understanding what you're wanting. But if you guys want me to demonstrate, pull up, think, or swim, and show you what those contracts look like and how to navigate that application, just as an example, I'll do that too. Naomi, you said yes, please. Tyler said thanks. On the break and retest, do you wait for a second retest? Yeah, I could talk about that, DJ Tez. Oh, sorry, DJ Trez. Yeah, I could talk about that too. Do you want me to show you that today in the live session? JR, yo, I'm in the blue collar field and been thinking about doing day trading on the side. Should I? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can tap in with me. And like I said, I'm here to share everything that I know with you for free. No gatekeeping. So yeah, we can get started. And I'll walk you through step by step. I'm very patient and I'll take the time to walk you through. For those of you who want me to pull up Think or Swim, give me just a second. I'm going to answer a couple of more questions, then I'll go ahead and jump into Think or Swim if you have the time. If you have to drop, but you still want to catch this explanation later, just DM me and say, hey, can you send me the link to the live replay? And I will send you a link to the live replay so you guys can do that. What I'm doing is TikTok will record the video, the live session, right? And I could just forward you a link to the video itself, right? For example, but I found this application called Loom. It's a really nice application. I'm paying for the subscription, and I'm gonna use this as an example. I can upload the TikTok video to this application when it loads. Hold on, give me a second. So when it loads, geez, any day now. Okay. So when I upload the video, the TikTok video to Loom, then I can paste the timestamps. So that way you all can navigate and find, let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see it on TikTok. Then you can get a brief explanation of what I discussed, and you can click on these timestamps and they will navigate you to that point within the video. And there's a synopsis below each of the sections where I'm discussing, because these can get pretty lengthy. Like I've been on for like an hour or hour and a half, and you don't want to watch, you may not be interested in watching the entire video. You may just be looking for something specific. So I'm trying to make the overall experience the best I can. So I'm searching for different tools and resources to help you guys quickly learn. All right. Sorry, I keep saying guys, the masculine form, but to help you ladies and gentlemen, all right, learn as quickly as possible. So yeah, just DM me if you want. If you can't stay on the live, if you have to drop anytime, just DM me and say, hey, yo, Ace, send me the live replay of what you were discussing, and I'll go ahead and send that to you as soon as it's available. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up Thinkorswim, because a few of you wanted me to pull up Thinkorswim. Give me a second to log in. Let's see here. Continue to drop your questions in the live chat, and I'll be happy to pause periodically and answer your questions, each of your questions. Let me log in. And so for those who might have just joined the live session, what we're going to do is we're going to open up Thinkorswim, and we're going to take a look at how you can choose a contract to trade or enter a position for a chosen stock, whether it's Tesla or Nvidia or whatever stock you might be interested in. And then we're going to look at how much they cost and how you can select the least costly stock to still make money. All right. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. If you have to drop, no worries. Just DM me and say, hey, yo, Ace, can you send me the replay of that? Because I definitely want to check that out. All right, bear with me. Appreciate the likes, appreciate the love, appreciate the support. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna jump over here to, by the way, when you create your account, any brokerage account, doesn't matter which one, they all work the same. They all function the same for this particular thing. But yeah, so they're gonna give you a free practice account. This allows you to take trades live in the marketplace real time. But with fake money, or what they call paper money. All right, so that's just an FYI if you're interested in that. So you can practice risk free. All right, so keep that in mind. You don't have to start off with your money right away. All right, so let me zoom in. I'm currently in Thinkorswim. Let me remove some of this stuff off the screen so we can have more real estate, and you won't have a bunch of distractions, because our eyes tend to wander, right? We might get distracted. Like, what is that? What's that? What's that? What does that mean? So to answer your question, Sugar free, I'm gonna get to you. I know you said you got scammed through crypto trading. I lost my whoa, you lost your life savings a few months ago. Bro, I tried to stay. Man, that's crazy. I got you, man. If you want to lock in a few months ago, bro, I tried to stay. Man, that's crazy. I got you, man. If you want to lock in, trust me, you don't have to pay a dime. You don't have to pay a dime. I'm gonna share with you everything step by step. Let me scroll back up to the question. So Naomi asked Anthony, with these contracts, do they tell you how much the entry costs are? Yes. And you have many options to choose from. We'll talk about this as well. You might be interested in knowing what does that mean, this information in between the parentheses. We'll talk about that if you want, because that's important too. So let's pull this up here. And I'm going to scroll over. I'm going to pull this up, zoom in for you guys on TikTok so you can see this clearly. Ignore everything else on the screen. Just focus on my cursor for now. All right. Ignore everything else. I like to keep things simple and help you focus your attention where it matters. All right. So the question is, with these contracts, do they tell you how much they cost? Yes, they do. So what you see here is the as column. All right. Now, think about this for those who are completely new. Price only moves in two directions, up or down. So you have two sides of the coin, right? You got the up side and then you have the downside. So if you want price to go down, you come over here. You're hoping price goes up, you come over here. All right. So we're just going to focus on this one column because that's all that matters to answer this question. All right. So here in this column, you might see these numbers. Looks like $24.80, right? Well, not quite. You have to move the decimal places over two places. All right. So this is actually $2,480. So that means one contract will cost $2,480. This is not the same for every company or every stock. This is what's true for Tesla. All right. So a lot of people feel like they can't trade Tesla because they're like, man, I don't have $2,400 to buy even just one contract. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to. So you can scroll down and you can see that there are cheaper contracts. These are your lower delta contracts, and they move just as well. In fact, I traded a 0.20 delta contract. I'll talk about that. I'll explain that. But overall, just keep in mind this was a cheaper contract, and I made $430 in 26 seconds with that cheaper contract. So you don't need to buy the most expensive contracts. You can buy what you can afford. Eventually, as you begin to make more money, you can scale up and buy more contracts. That's the goal, is to buy more contracts. The more contracts you can buy, the more money you can make. So this is not $2.64. You move the decimal places over two places to your right. This is actually $264. So you can see you can still make money with just a little bit of money. You want to buy you want to buy the highest contract that you can afford, or you want to buy multiple contracts if you can afford it. Let's say you only have $300. Then buy this contract. You don't necessarily have to buy two of these. Just buy one contract. Does that answer your question, Naomi? If you have further questions, you need me to drill down even further, let me know. Let me scroll down and make sure I'm answering other questions. Let me see. Thank you all for the likes. Thank you all for the follow. On the break, DJ Trez, you asked on the break and retest, do you wait for the second retest? I got you, DJ Trez. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to jump over to that right after this. Just got that. Let me scroll down and make sure. How old you got to be to day trade? You could be any age. I was just talking about earlier. I was just sharing, teaching my auntie who's over 60. She's in her mid 60s. I was just teaching her today. So I was showing her on the same big TV screen that you guys are looking at today. And she got it. All right. So you could be any age. You could be young, middle age, older, mature, whatever. It doesn't matter. Naomi says, I'm loving it. You said, yes, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, whatever questions, don't feel like your questions are you're asking too many questions. Don't feel like you're asking silly questions or dumb questions. If you're shy, if you don't want to ask your question in the live chat, DM me as many questions as you feel necessary and I will answer them. Any question I can't answer, I will gladly forward them over to my mentor. He will happily answer these questions. Okay. If I can't answer them for you. Sugar free, you said I appreciate it. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. So let me go back up and talk about the breakout of retest really quick. Thank you all for the love. Thank you all for the likes. Let's see. Let me get back to it. All right, DJ Trez, if you're still there, let's talk about the break and retest. Your question was on the break and retest, do you wait for the second retest? Let me pull up a chart. I'm on tradingview.com for those of you who are interested in following along from your device. I'm on tradingview.com. It's a free application. You can follow along for free. You do not need to even create an account to pull up a Tesla chart or any chart for that matter. All right, so on Tesla, we're talking about the breakout and retest. And the question is, do I wait for the second retest? No. The simple answer, short answer is no. But let me show you what I do wait for. Let's use today's trade, for example. All right, let's use today's trade. I'm going to scroll over here and I'm going to stretch this screen out. Stretch this out so you guys can see it. Then I'm going to zoom in so you can see the bodies of these candles. All right. So this is when the market opened. Let me activate my drawing tool here. All right. So this is when the market opened. Let me know if you can't see this clearly, or let me know if I need to re-explain something or restate something. I'm happy to do so. All right. So in the open, Tesla failed dramatically. Sellers were selling off. They're like, we're getting out of Tesla. Right? We're getting out of Tesla. We don't like what they said in the earnings call. We wanted to hear more and they didn't provide as much information. All right. So they were selling off. Now, what's essential to the breakout and retest strategy is you need to draw out key levels. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm not going to dive deep into detail to explain how we mark out these key levels. I'm just going to say or the saying goes, suffice to say, that just know that you need to draw out key levels, right? And I have those key levels already drawn out here. We have a high and we have a low. I can, and I'm happy to dive into greater detail to explain how to draw out these key levels. Like, how did I determine these key levels? We can talk about that later, but for simplicity's sake, to answer your question, assume you know, this is just assuming you have prior knowledge, but you don't need it. Just know that this is a key level and this is a key level. Okay, we have a high and we have a low. For the breakout and retest strategy, what we're looking for, and I'm not going to use these key levels. I'm just pointing out as an example. I'm going to draw out two new key levels so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But for the breakout and retest strategy, what we need or what we're looking for is a break above this level, or if sellers are pushing the price down, we want to break below this level. So whenever you draw out your key levels, the breakout and retest strategy requires, or the first condition is you need a break above or a break below. And then you wait for the retest back to that key level. Okay. So if it breaks below it, you wait for a retest. Then you wait for that's a confirmation. You enter your position and then you proceed as normal. Same thing. If the stock price breaks above this key level, we wait for it to retest. And then if this level is held, we can enter our position and, continue to take gains toward the upside. Okay. So now let me draw out an example. Let me draw some key levels as an example. And this is just for example purposes. Okay. So we have, I'm going to use, okay, I'm going to use these. Actually, let me just use this key level here. Okay. Because this is better. All right. So we have two key levels here that's important. All right. So follow with me. So we have this key level and we have this key level. And at the open, we're waiting for a breakout below. Since the stock is falling, we're waiting for a breakout below the second key level. All right. Now, notice we have the breakout. We have the breakout. And what we're waiting for is a retest. A retest is a pullback. That means, since the direction is the sellers are pushing the price down. Remember, price only goes in two directions. Keep that in mind. And this explanation will be very, very easy for you to comprehend. Price only goes in two directions. And so there's only two parties to focus on: buyers, sellers. The purple candles represents the sellers. The green candles represents the buyers. And we're waiting for sellers to push the price below this key level that we drew out. And then we're waiting for buyers to push the price back up and to see if sellers are going to step in and hold this level and not let price break back above it. Okay. That's what we're waiting for. That's called the retest. So once we break out, then we're waiting for the stock price to recover and come back or retest this zone. And what we're looking for is for sellers to hold this key level and not let it break back above. As you can see, it happened a little bit later. So sellers don't want it to do this. Buyers do. Sellers don't. They want it to keep pushing the price lower. And so, no, I don't wait for the second retest, especially for a short position, or if I'm expecting the stock price to drop. I'm not going to wait for a second retest. For a short position, you need to be a little bit more aggressive if you want to capture those gains. This is the actual candle I entered my position on. This is a 60-second candle. That means it took 60 seconds for this candle to form, open, and close, right? It opened at second 60, and it starts ticking down from 60 to 59 and so forth down to zero. All right. So I made $430 in 26 seconds in this one candle. Okay. I got in quick. It was like, boom, $430. Where can you do that? Where can you do that? $430 in 26 seconds. Come on, man. Like I said, I'm making way more money doing this than I was as a software engineer, and I was earning a six-figure salary. So yeah. Did that answer your question, DJ Trez? Hopefully that answered your question. I do not wait for the second retest. The second retest, what he's referring to is we'd have this first retest here. So it will look like this. Let me activate a different drawing tool. So we'd have something like this. We'd have the sellers pushing the price lower, and then we wait for the retest. And then we might have sellers stepping back in to push the stock lower. And then we might have a second retest back to this key level. Remember, this is the key level that we drew out, this white line. And he's asking, do I wait for a second retest? No, I don't wait for a second retest for my entries for the breakout and retest strategy. What I'm looking for is once we have that retest back, that first retest, which is what happened on this candle here, I'm waiting for momentum to see how quickly this candle is beginning to form. I'm looking to see if sellers are stepping in aggressively. And you could tell the distinction between this candle and this purple candle here. This is a much smaller candle. And you can see each candle, they have different sizes, right? They have different sizes. So with that said, I'm looking to see that sellers are stepping in very, 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 very aggressively, because that's my confirmation. And you have to be quick. I have my confirmation screen up, ready to jump into this short position. A short position is just taking a position saying that this stock is going to continue falling, right? It's going to continue falling. And it only took 26 seconds to make $430. And could I have made more? Yeah, if I had put in more money. But I've been testing for you all, for all who are interested, who believe that you can't, that it's too expensive to day trade stock options. That is not true. Okay, it's not true. And I've been testing this for the past 3 months. All right, for the past 3 months, you can make money with the cheaper contracts, and I've tested this for 3 months straight. So I have the proof, and I can walk you through it step by step. So you can buy cheaper contracts and still make money the same way I did today. So let me refresh. Did I put this in the journal? I should have this in the journal. Yeah. So this is the trade today. You could have bought one contract for $221. I bought 10. So my total position was $2,000. I made 18% on this initial investment of $2,000. You could have bought one contract for $221, right? And then we just divide this by 10. So you would have made $41 for that one contract in 26 seconds. You would have made $41 if you had just bought one contract. Okay. So you just multiply whatever you made per contract by the number of contracts you are willing to buy. So that's how you scale, right? You could start with one contract. You could, if you can only afford, $100 or 200 or 300, start there, because you can earn 3 to 7% or greater. As you can see, I earned 18%, almost 19% in 26 seconds, and made $430 minus Thinkorswim's platform fees. All right. So do you guys have any other questions? I'll pause it there and check to make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions. I'm not ignoring you. Waba, is it Waba? You said you want to learn? I got you. I got you. Those of you who want to learn, feel free to DM me, or just continue to join my lives. You can DM me any questions that you may have. I'm happy to share free of charge. I will never, ever charge you. Ever, 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 ever. Completely free. All right. Completely free. Thank you all for the likes and the follows. JRFS, bro. Appreciate it. For sure. For sure. Thank you all for the follows. Nika, you said you're interested. I got you. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need to get started, and I got you. Okay. Whatever questions you have, I'll gladly and patiently walk you all through step by step. No problem. If we can't do it on the live today, we can do it. I can schedule a session or a live session for anyone who's also interested in learning something in particular, and send out that notification via DM to everyone. And then we can go live and do it slowly and step by step to make sure everyone grasps the concept. All right. So let's see. Any other questions? Thank you all for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Let's see. Glad you're loving it, Naomi. Bless your heart. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Frank, what would be the best app to start trading? All right. So there's two applications that you'll need, right? There's two applications you'll need. You could use one, but just using one, you'll see that you probably won't like it as much. But you really only need one, but you'll likely use two. Okay. Now you'll need a brokerage account. That's the first thing you'll need, a brokerage account. This is where you will enter and exit your trade positions. Okay, you will need a brokerage account. You could use any brokerage account. You could use Thinkorswim. It's your choice. Thinkorswim, Webull, Robinhood, IBKR, or you could choose another, but these are the more popular ones. And if you're not familiar with how to navigate those applications, I have every device. I have a Mac. I have an Android. I have iPad. I have, so I can help you navigate those applications, whichever one you decide to use. Okay, whether you use it on your mobile phone, laptop, iPad, or tablet, or desktop computer, I can help you. Okay, let's see. But yeah, so the second application I was just using to provide the previous demonstration is tradingview.com. This is a free site, tradingview.com. It's free. And so this is where we go to perform our chart analysis for our stock of interest. I love Tesla. You can choose any stock. I can show you how to search for stocks and go from there. All right, let's see how I answered that question. How old you got to be to day trade? You can be any age. Keep tapping. Let's get this live to 5K. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Naomi. And look, it's at 5.4K. So I appreciate that love. I appreciate that. Man, y'all holding me down, man. I love y'all, man. I appreciate the love and support. Can you talk about QQQ? Yeah, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? Just let me know specifically what you want to know. I don't have your name, but I know you tapped in with me earlier. But you didn't give me a name, so I don't know what to call you. You want me to say unknown user? UK. I'll call you UK for short. Unknown user is too long for me. Let's see. What other questions we have? DJ Trez, you said yes, cool. I got you. What time frame are you trading with? So I enter you on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, I enter my positions on the 1 minute time frame, and depending on what the stock is doing, like today was a quick scalp, so it was a quick short position, in and out, 26 seconds, up $430 in 26 seconds. And I entered on the 1 minute time frame and exited on the 1 minute time frame. If I'm in the stock and it's taking a little bit longer for the stock to develop, then I will manage it on the higher time frames like the 5 minute, 15, and so on. So appreciate that question, Kenneth. Good question. DJ Trez, do you stay on the 1 minute time frame? Yeah, I navigate between different time frames because depending on what the stock is doing currently and what it has done previously, like the previous day, it depends on what the stock has done previously as to how I manage it. Because you want to check the higher time frames, right, to confirm your thesis, right? What direction? When I say thesis, price only goes in two directions, up or down. So we want to know what the stock is doing currently. So I'll use the higher time frames to determine what trend the stock is moving. Is it moving up in price or is it moving down in price? So I'll use those higher time frames to confirm the direction of the stock I'm interested in. All right. Let me know if you have any further questions about that. Yolex, I love that name, by the way. Yolex, am I saying it correctly? Yes, sir. Doing good. Rachel, thank you. No problem. No problem. I got you. Diva Max, I love that handle. I'm interested in learning. I have no experience. You don't need it. You don't need it, Diva Max. I got you. Okay. If you're still on, I don't know if you're still listening. It's taking me a minute to get through all of the questions. I apologize, but bear with me. Be patient with me, people, please. Diva Max, if you're still listening, I got you. Just DM, tap in with me. Or you could continue to drop your questions in the live chat. Sometimes people might have to go. It is getting a little bit late. So if you have to go, I understand. But don't forget, even if you have to drop early, you can DM me to request this live replay, and you could DM me any and all your questions that you feel necessary to help you begin to learn. Because that's what I want to help everyone do. And I would never charge you. I don't care how many questions you ask. I'm not going to ever charge you. Okay. That's not the point. The goal is for you to be able to provide your testimony to let everybody else know how easy this is, because there's so many people who believe this is not doable, like it's not possible. And, they're settling for the alternatives, those, like taking high interest loans or title loans or payday loans and living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm scared for people in today's economy because prices are only going to keep climbing. So I got you, Diva Max. If you want to learn, continue to tap in and DM me any of your questions. Now I can't say your handle on this live. They'll kick me off, but I love that handle. BP. I'm gonna just say for short BP. BPs. You said let's do it. Appreciate the support. unknown user. Levels for tomorrow. Yeah, we could do it. Tap in. You can call me. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll let you know. Can if you, I'll DM you. I'll DM you because if you could tap in with me during my pre-market live, I can really go over it with you then because that'll be perfect. Because I go over it anyway each day during my pre-market live prep. All right, so I'll DM you and we could discuss that further. And I'll just wait for your reply. I appreciate the love, appreciate the likes, everyone. Man, y'all got me to 6.1K likes. Man, y'all killing it. Y'all killing it. I love y'all, man. Appreciate the support. Monkey Do. I love, man. I wish I was creative as y'all, man. Y'all coming up with some pretty creative, clever handles, man. How can you figure out which way gonna go when it's consolidating? Yeah. So the breakout and retest, I did just talk about that briefly a second ago. So you could catch the replay. I could DM me and I can send you the replay. But basically, for the breakout and retest level, what's important is you have to have key levels drawn out, right? And this is the high point of the stock price and the low point of a stock price. And there's different key levels that you can draw out. I'm not going to jump into detail for simplicity's sake, but just know that you need two key levels, a high and a low, and you're waiting for a breakout above that key level so you don't get caught up in this type of consolidation. So for example, just as a quick recap, if, let me activate this drawing tool. If this is our high and this is our low, we don't want to, excuse me, if this is our high and this is our low, I'm sorry, if this is our high and this is our low, we don't want to trade in between this point, okay? We don't want to trade in between this high and low point, okay? There are setups or strategies that you can use to trade when the stock is consolidating, but I don't use that strategy. I'm not familiar with it. I use the breakout and retest, okay? There's many strategies, just FYI for those of you who are new. There's many strategies. You only need one. You only need one. Okay. You can learn more as you go, but you only need one to make money and start growing your money. All right. So assuming this is the high point and this is the low point, we will not enter any trades within this zone. Okay. Within this zone, we will wait until it breaks out either below or above the zone. And then we'll wait for a retest. And that's what we'll look to enter our trade. So that should help answer your question there, Monkey Do. Let me know if you need further, need me to elaborate further. Naomi asks, do you only trade during the daytime? Yeah. Um, so the market opens at 8:30 a.m. Central and at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay. And it closes at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. And so you could trade anytime between then during the day, if you're doing a day trade, but you don't have to day trade. You could take longer term positions as well. So that's an option for many of you who may not have the time to day trade. Okay. So you also have a second option, and you could take longer term trades. Oh, I did say, did you guys want me to answer that question? What does this information mean in between the parentheses? This is what I was just referring to in terms of taking longer term positions. You don't have to do a day trade. So if you don't have the time, you could enter into a trade, let's say at the beginning of the week, and then wait for your position to grow. And you can exit the position later that week on your lunch break or when you get off of work or something like that. Or you can put it in systematically. The information that you see here between the parentheses means time till expiration. Time till expiration. So as you can see here, 1 day, 8 days till expiration, 15, and so on. You could take trades that are 1 year away. I mean, like they don't expire until 1 year or 6 months or 2 years. So you have options, but there's no excuse why you can't get started. So time is not an issue. That's not an excuse. Money is not an issue because I already showed you guys. I'm sorry, I already showed you ladies and gentlemen how you can start with as little as $100. So yeah, there's options. Diva Max, yes, I'm here. Thank you. I'm glad you were still here. I'm glad you were still here to hear that. Hear me answer your question. Can I join the live for a minute? Yeah. What did you first? Tell me what you want to talk about. That way I have a heads up and I can let the viewers know, because I don't want viewers to get distracted. I tried it yesterday to add people on, and I you know, had some technical difficulties, let's just say that. And then people began to drop because they didn't enjoy the experience. But let me see. Tell me what you want to share, and then I can get a consensus from the audience to see if they want to hang on and uh, to hear it. You heard me, BP? BPs. I love the handle, by the way. Yeah, so you heard me earlier. I signed up with that handle thinking I'd get banned. So I hear you. Let's see. You said, can you join to ask a few questions? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me see. When is the remarket live prep? So the Yeah, so the pre-market prep, I go live every day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. Okay, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. And if you can't catch the live for whatever reason, or if you have to drop early for whatever reason, you can always request me to send you the live, the replay, okay, for that session, and I will be happy to. Appreciate all the love and all the likes. Thank you all for all the support. I love y'all, man, from the bottom of my heart, from my soul. I mean it. Market is an uptrend right now. So the best thing to do is wait for a liquidity sweep and find entry. Yeah, so hold on. I got you, UK, unknown user. I got you. I'm going to let you in here in a second. Keep tapping. Let's get them to 10K. I appreciate that, Naomi. You got my back. You got my back. I love it. Monkey Dude, thank you, sir. I got you. No worries. I'm glad you're finding value. Let's see. Unknown user, I want to talk of entry points. Okay, cool. I got you. Let me just scroll through and make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions or feedback. Let's see. Entry points. I just have a few questions. Okay, I got you. BPs. Damn, that's 5 a.m. PST. Yes, I'll take a replay, please. Okay, yeah. So if you want those replays, I can send them to you each replay and just let me know, or you could just tell me you want one per week or something like that. Like maybe you just want one and you want to check it out, and then you can let me know if you want any additional replays. So I'll send you one per day, or I'll send you the one from today, and then you can let me know if you want any subsequent replays. Okay, so let's see. Tyler, do you as an investor perform performances to work alone, or do you find it beneficial? Yeah, I'm still not wrapping my mind around the question, because I think you're asking, do you as an investor prefer to work alone, or do you find it beneficial to work with other people? um like I said, I think there's room for both, right? So yeah, I think it's room for both. So like I said, you could tap in with me and let me know what you have in mind, and then we can go from there. BP says, oh, thanks, I'm glad to listen. I got you. I got you. All right, cool. Thank you all for the love. We up to 8.9K likes, man. Y'all killing it. All right, UK, I'm gonna let you in. So for all of you who are still tuned in, I'm gonna let unknown user jump in. They have a couple of questions that they want to ask and talk about, so we'll do that. And then if you guys have excuse me, if you ladies and gentlemen have other topics that you want to discuss in future live, just DM me and let me know what you want to discuss, and I'll title that in the next live or in the future live, and I'll discuss that with you and step through that with you step by step, slowly, patiently, to make sure you got it. And anyone who's interested, you can tap in and join that live as well. All right, so here we go, unknown user. Let's try this out. Hopefully this works out, and then I'm gonna call it a night. All right, so let's see here.
How's it going? How's it going?
How you doing? How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and support.
Yes, sir. I just kind of want to give you a rundown of what I do during the day. 8:30 kind of rolls around. I do something called the 15-minute strat. Not sure if you're familiar with that.
Well, can you, for all of us who may be unfamiliar, can you give us a brief background about, like, let's say your experience? Can you start there and just kind of give us a brief overview, and then just jump into what you want to explain?
Okay. I've been in the stock market for about 8 years,
Oh, cool, cool.
and I've been trading on and off for about six.
Oh,
So I do have a pretty decent amount of experience. The hardest thing to get out of my mind is FOMO, fear of missing out.
yeah.
Um, but I can't get it out of my vocabulary. Like it's just there. Um, but what I do in the morning is 8:30 opens up. I pull my 15-minute candle close. Then I do my what I do is I pull my 5 minute chart up. I'll wait either for a close above the high of the 15-minute candle or below the low, and I'll wait for the retest for either direction. So, say if I'm expecting it to go up, I'll wait for the retest of the high of the 15-minute candle and then enter. And then the bottom, what I'll do is I'll let it break down below that low, and then I'll let it test up, and then I'll do my entry. What I do after that is I use a strategy called the liquidity sweep strategy. But I do have a problem with entries. That's like my number one thing. Charting, I'm good. Key levels, I'm good. Supply and demand, I'm good. VWAP, all that kind of stuff. I'm great on that. It's just entries. I have FOMO. A lot of traders have that fear of missing out. You know, you think you're missing out, so you sit there and you try to chase the market. And then what happens to me is I'm a profitable trader, but like I said, FOMO always gets me. So I'll wait, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to miss out. I get in. It ends up either going down or up, and I don't make as much profit as I want to. So it kind of messes me up, not being able to find a decent entry.
Mm-hmm. Man, you said it. You said it. That's that is the problem with a lot of traders. That mental part of fear of missing out on making more money or trying to recoup that which you lost. But you have much more. I just want to let the audience know that's listening. He has much more experience than I do. Some of the concepts that he just mentioned, they're more advanced concepts. Uh, these aren't like your typical beginner concepts. Some
Can
of
I
them,
can I can I kind of explain something just really quickly?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
So for the beginner traders, I started out with this with the liquidity sweep strategy. So basically, what it is you have buyers. They're greedy. Always remember, buyers are greedy. They want to buy at the lowest price they possibly can. So what they're going to do is they're going to let the market push up, and then what's going to happen is the people who chase the market's going to pull back down, and it's going to pretty much liquidate their orders. Their orders are going to get stopped out. They're going to take a stop loss, and it's going to push the market even further down. And what they're going to do is somewhere in the bottom section, you got to find the points first. They're going to buy in because they want the best price possible. So they're going to buy in at the lowest price possible, and the market's going to push up. So for the market to continue in an uptrend, it always has to pull back. That is the number one thing I had to learn, because my problem is I would see the market pulling down like so much, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to get out. I'm about to lose all my money, and I would exit. But the market would be in an uptrend. So if you have higher highs and lower lows, you're going to see a pullback for the big orders to get filled. So for the big orders to get filled, there must be a good buying price. Buyers are not going to buy at the highest price point of that day. They're going to try to buy at the lowest price possible so that they can have a bigger payout.
Exactly.
But my problem is FOMO, and I have problems with finding entries, and I enter late, so I take a smaller profit, and I'm like, I could have entered right there, but I didn't, and it was just the problem of finding a decent entry point.
So let me ask you some follow-up questions based on the concern that you expressed about your um, entry problem. Based on your given your strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a set of conditions that you're using to determine your entry, correct?
Yes, kind of. I do, but at the same time, I kind of wait,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, well, what direction is it going in? Because sometimes market pulls back more than it wants to, and then market pushes up more than it wants to. So I'm like, okay, well, it pushed past my key level. I don't want to get in because I'm not sure if it's going to keep on going or if it's going to try to do a pullback, a reversal towards the downside. So I don't enter, and then it ends up pulling back, and I enter late, and I'm like, oh, I should have entered. I should have entered.
Mm. So am I hearing like there's a little bit of doubt in the key levels that you're using to determine the entry and some of the other confluences that you're using to determine the entry?
Kind of. So I kind of pull the previous day high, and that's gonna be my resistance zone. Um, which would be like the previous day high, because that would be your resistance, and then I pull other resistance factors, resistance and support levels, and then I kind of like doubt myself, and I'm like, okay, well, it's pushing past my demand, or not my demand zone, it's pushing past my support zone. So is market going to continue down, or is it going to kind of go below my support zone and then pull its way back up, or vice versa? And then I don't enter, and I'm like, I should have entered there, I should have entered.
Mm, mm, mm,
So it's
mm.
kind of like I'm trying to find the best way to find my entry points. It's either that, or I'm just doubting. I know it's either or. It's either I'm not finding entry points like I should, or I'm doubting my levels, which I know I shouldn't be, because I have the experience, and I know it's just that thought in the back of my mind, because I've seen it happen. I've seen, I've put my levels, and it just pulled back like insane. And I'm sure you've seen it as well. You have, your levels, they're marked out, and then it just bull rushes past your zones. And I know that's kind of like it'll happen every now and then. If market's in an uptrend, it's most likely just going to pull back and push its way back up. I
Mhm.
also do look at the fear and greed index. Not sure if you look at that as well, but I look at the fear and greed index. The fear and greed index right now is at greed, which basically means buyers don't want to sell. They want to hold. They want to push the market up. And then you have your neutral and fear and extreme fear. So in extreme fear situations is people are fearing that the market's going to keep pushing its way down.
Mm, mm, mm,
So I
mm.
know when it's an extreme fear, or I mean extreme greed or greed, that the market's most likely still going to pull back, and it's going to push its way back up. It's just I think I need to trust my levels a lot more than I do, and I need to find the correct candle to enter on.
That's if you don't mind, can I offer a thought?
Yes, sir.
This is critical. This is very, very critical, and I'm glad we're having this discussion because in Naomi in the live chat, she asked also, is it normal to doubt yourself when entering trades? Yes, yes. And to unknown users' point, what he just described, just to quickly read, he did a very awesome job, better than I would, to articulating this concern, right? Um, Here's the thought that I like to offer. Because you take the time to learn all that you can, given anything, this is true, this is applicable in any area of life, right? We take the time to learn some sort of concept or topic or whatever the case may be. And then the next thing we have to do is apply that which we've learned, right? So when you're on new to something, whether it's a new job or whatever, we go through training, and then the next thing we have to do is apply it. And then there's their fear, that nervousness, like, oh, what if I mess up? What if I do it incorrectly? But in this case, let me share with what I have used. Okay. Now, again, my background is in software engineering, and I'm hearing clearly what unknown user just expressed in terms of his concern. And here's what I like to offer or express in terms of what I'm thinking. Okay. As a software engineer, what's important is proof. And how do we gain that proof in this context in terms of day trading?
Through levels.
Through levels, right? We perform our technical analysis, we draw out our key levels. But in addition to drawing out those key levels, is we need the data to support it. How do we get that data? One way we can get that data is through journaling. Because through journaling, we can test to see, is this entry model working and how well does it work? And we'll have a percentage that will be pointed, that will be given for that entry. So if you test this theory, right? Okay, here's my setup, here's my entries. Here's when I'm going to enter a trade, and I'm going to test this out for 1 week or 1 month. And I'm going to test how consistent or the win to, or the risk reward ratio for this given entry model. Okay. And so you can see with that data, how high is the percentage? Is it 50%? Is it 30%? Is it 90%? Let the data, my thought would be, let the data drive your decisions. That's what I use. I just let the data, and I try my best to remove emotion from the decision, and I focus primarily on the data. And that's a given. That's a good point. I'm glad we're talking about this, because I also have a close friend. He's been trading for 4 years. He's experienced gaining profit, just not sustaining them. And the more we talked, I began asking more probing questions. And I'm going to let you chime back in, unknown user, to let me know if I'm on target here.
Okay.
So we've been talking and having conversations, and I've been asking more probing questions. And I'm like, yo, so am I hearing you correctly? Is this the concern? Is this a concern? And he would confirm. He said, yeah. And I said, well, how are you tracking your trades? And he says, well, I kind of just write down some notes. And I said, oh, but you don't have like real data to support what you're thinking, right, in your mind, because we could be deceived in our mind.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, man, I think I'm doing well, but does the data show you that? So in your journal, here's what I'm talking about. Let me pull up my journal really quick. In your journal, and I'm going to zoom in for those of you who can see this, and then I'm going to let unknown user tap back in and chime in and let me know if I'm on track here. So here, I'm going to show you guys 2 things. I'm going to show everyone 2 things, okay? So you have your average win rate. This is in dollars. All right, this is a dollar amount, and you can see there's a percentage here. And then you have your rate, your win rate, how many wins based on and how many losses, and the percentage. And your strategy, if once you choose a strategy, that strategy should inherently include a win percentage rate. So it might be 60%, 70, 80, or so forth.
Yeah.
But in this journal, I want to show you something really cool. Now, unknown user, you might be already familiar with journals. You may even be using one. But here's what what I use, okay? I'm going to go to the stats tab. And this month alone, this is my win rate, 64%.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And can I explain something about your win rate real quick, please?
Yeah, definitely.
So a lot of these guys that are just now getting started trading, y'all look at his win rate and y'all are like, oh, okay, well, he's only right, 64% of the time. But let me explain to y'all how the win rate works. So let's just say, for example, you have a guy with let's just say lower than his win rate, 40%. just because his win rate is lower doesn't mean he's still not taking profits. Because yeah, his win rate's 64%. Other guys' win rate might be 40%, but his losses might only be $100, but his wins are like $2,000 to $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people look at these win rates and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to listen to somebody with a 64%. I want to listen to somebody with an 86%. But let me explain to y'all something. Just because somebody has a higher win rate doesn't mean they're good. They might only be winning 100 per trade, but they're losing $1,000 per trade.
Right.
So just because somebody has a higher win rate, you want somebody with a decent win rate that their wins are a lot better than their losses, and they're either um consistently winning or consistently taking more profit than they're losing.
Right. Right.
And a lot of people, they don't look at that. My win rate is sitting right at 68%, somewhere around that area, especially with the 15 minute. I ran some back testing on that 15 minute strategy for about 6 months. It's
Mm-hmm.
about 80 to 85% successful.
Wow.
So it is a really good strategy. It's
Mm-hmm.
just you have to trade. The strategy only works when the market opens. That's
Mm.
kind of like the only downside is you have to get in there when the market opens at 8:30.
Okay. Okay. So you have it. So you actually have the information that you need. It sounds like, right? So you
Oh
have
yes,
the.
sir.
So now it sounds like, is it just a matter of trusting the data?
I think that's more what it is. I think I need to trust it a lot more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when to enter. It's just I get nervous when I go to enter, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should wait. Let me wait to see. Let me wait to see because how I kind of do my thing is I pull my 15-minute chart up and I chart out what I need to chart out. That's where I find my levels at is on the 15 minute.
Okay.
And then I look for entries on the 1 minute chart. I'm sure you probably do the same. Some people do it a lot. Some people do 30 seconds, but I don't. I'm not a big fan of that low time frame. I like the 1 minute and the 3 minute. 1 and 3 minute to me is a pretty decent time frame. You can also pull your weekly and monthly open and closes. That's pretty good, especially when we are going on, say you have, for example, QQQ sitting at 565. Let's just say, I don't want to take a lot of your time. So I'm just going to say, let's just say QQQ's monthly close was at, let's just say 555. For
Mm-hmm.
example, this is not an exact number. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right.
555. Say you're pushing down in the market. Most of the time, your market's going to react to your monthly close.
Mm.
Most of the time when you hit your monthly close, it's going to try to pull itself back up or it's going to push back down to the next monthly close. That's where, but the bad part about doing that is if you want to make money off that, you have to have a lot of money because it's not very often you're going to see the market come back down to monthly close and monthly open. So if you're trading monthly open and closes, you better be trading with about $5,000 to $6,000 because you are going to have to make a pretty decent profit because the next time that happens, it's going to take a while. So a lot of people when they trade, they want to make money each day.
Right.
So they kind of want like, quick money. They want to make money in a decent amount of time. So I think going back to what I said, I think my problem is trusting my levels. And when I go back and look, my levels are pretty accurate. They show that they're pretty accurate. But my problem is finding the right entry because when you hit certain levels, it starts to consolidate.
Mm-hmm.
You start trading sideways. And I'm like, where do I enter here? Like, where's a good entry? And I second guess myself, and I think I just need to trust my levels more and just not have a fear of missing out. Trust my levels, get in when I need to get in, and get out when I need to get out.
Yeah. So that it sounds like. So tell me this, because you mentioned that first of all you're profitable.
Yes,
Second,
sir.
You have the data that supports your entry model, and your thesis around your strategy is working, and is working well. So what else are you looking for from your strategy? Do you want to hire?
I think I just want a higher, a better point of entry.
Mhm.
Exits for me are pretty straightforward. What I use for my exit strategies is I wait. So I'll pull my 5 minute chart up, and if my 5 minute candle is a pretty thick candle and it's red, and then the next candle closes, I'll open the 1 minute. Or yeah, I'll open the 1 minute, and if it's slightly green, like we have weak price action towards the upside, I'll just exit. I'll just get out.
Mm.
Um, but I just think I need to trust my levels a lot more, and not second guess myself and have a fear of missing out. I'm an overthinker, so a lot of the times I just overthink. And trading is all about not having emotions. When you trade, emotions is like one of the worst things you can have,
Right, right.
because when you start getting scared and you start fearing, you start doing something called a panic sell. You're
Hmm.
at a loss, so you're like, oh my gosh, I'm down $30. I gotta get out. I gotta get, and guess what? Then the market does a reversal and moves in the way you want it to move.
Mm, mm, mm.
And that's the thing. How I look at it as, when you put the money in there, say you put $200 in there, just expect it to be gone. Don't expect to get anything out of it. Expect that money gone. That way, if you do lose it, you're not like, oh my gosh, I just lost 200. Jesus, I can't afford to do that. If you can't afford to lose $200, don't lose $200.
Right.
If you have a $200 account, me personally, I would only recommend taking a $20 loss, 10% of your account.
Exactly. Exactly.
I wouldn't, because what a lot of new traders do is, let's just say they have a $500 account, and they're at a $200 loss. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't afford to lose this $200. Not like afford, but I don't want to risk losing 50% of my account. I'm gonna wait. I needed to do a reversal, and what ends up happening? They end up losing more money.
Hmm.
I think that's the number one problem with new traders is they chase the market, and they have FOMO, just like I do. I still have FOMO after 6 years in trading, in 8 years in the market. I still have, and I'm not going to say it's as bad as it used to be, because I used to have it like stupid bad. I used to chase, make like $20 profits, and I'm like, I got to figure something out. Well, I kind of started backing up and saying, okay, I've got to stop having this fear of missing out. I need to trust my levels and get in when I need to get in. So I kind of started building up a little bit more trust, but still to this day, I do have a fear of missing out, and a problem with finding the correct entry when the market is at a consolidating point.
So it sounds like you got two goals in mind. You want to find the lowest risk entry to capture more gains. Am I
Yes.
correctly? Okay. And given what you're experiencing in terms of your psychology, when you're considering enter a trade or during the live session, do you find, or I don't know if you have experience with this, or do you find it helpful to trade with a community or group?
I do. I really think sometimes I do find it a lot more helpful, because you have a lot more inputs.
Hmm.
And then you come to a conclusion. You're like, hey, look, we're at the bottom of the market. We're at the bottom of this red candle. What do we think's going to happen here? And like I said, most of the time when you're in an uptrend, buyers want to buy at the best price possible. They want to make as much profit possible, because they're greedy. And we start. I feel like it's a lot easier, because we start talking about psychology, and psychology is pretty important in the market, because it's all about how people think. When the market's going up, you have people saying, okay, I don't want to miss out. Let me chase the market. Let me chase the market. And the market ends up doing a reversal, like a liquidity sweep. It ends up stopping out their order and pushing it a lot further down. And then you got the big buyers coming in, buying up those premiums at a lower price.
You
So
know that.
I think it's just easier to me when I have somebody with me saying, okay, well, this is what we probably need to do. And they explain, hey, look, this is why. And I explain, this is why we come to a conclusion. And I feel like it's just a lot better to have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, exactly. That's why I felt like you were leading to like there's a especially if you have right the people who are talking during this session that are more experienced and you can get that extra feedback and it's it's almost like it's different when you're telling it to yourself versus when you're hearing it from someone else's.
Exactly. Because you kind of get like confirmation.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of felt like that's where you were leading. Yep.
It's just hard to find people who actually have an idea of what they're doing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't want to trade with somebody who has, very, very slight knowledge of trading and they're just giving me, because I've had that happen where these new traders are like, oh, this and this and that. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And then we start kind of like not arguing, but talking back and forth, saying this and that. And then I explain why. And they're like, no, 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 no. And they don't want to listen to I like to listen to other people's key levels and my key levels, but they just want to enter. They just want to chase.
Yeah, it could get crazy after that. Yep. So, do you currently have a group that you are a part of that is helping, or you're currently looking for something like that?
I'm currently looking for people to get in there and trade with.
Hmm. Yeah, that's I wonder if it makes sense to create that type of community. Um, maybe we could. I don't know if you heard me. I don't know if you heard me earlier in this live, but I've just began my journey of day trading this within the last year. Okay, I've been trading consistently for the past 3.5 months. Okay, so I'm really new to this. I'm just not new to how money, the art of finance works. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like you have the right tools and the right mindset to where you need to be. I'm actually super impressed that you know these things. A lot of people when they're this new,
Mhm.
they don't really have that type of knowledge, and it seems like you have the knowledge and you have the tools, or the tools that you need to use.
Appreciate that vote of confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought, me personally, listening to your live, I've been listening to your live for a while. I thought you had at least 3 to 4 years of trading experience.
Really?
Like you definitely have the knowledge the and like you told me earlier, you said, well, I don't really know how to use that strategy because I don't use it. And to me, that kind of like points out that's a good thing to me. When you say, oh, I use this strategy and I stick to it, and then you tell me, oh, well, I don't really know that strategy. To me, that's a good thing because what a lot of people try to do is they try to cram a bunch of strategies in their head and they get confused. How I kind of tell people is stick to a strategy and master it, and then you can move on to another strategy.
Love it. Love it.
It's just I'm trying to find people, because a lot of people they don't want to. They just a lot of people they do something called what copy trading is.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, yeah.
And it's like I don't want people like that. I don't want to copy trade. I want to pull key levels. I want to pull support zones, demand zones. I want to pull do you know what a fair value gap is?
Yeah, actually, I just started learning about that. So yeah, feel free to.
So I like fair value gaps towards the upside and the downside. It's actually a very important tool to use. I use it sometimes. I don't use it a lot, but I do use it sometimes because to me it is kind of an important thing. And it'll show you where pretty much I wouldn't. I would take the gap out of the name because that kind of confuses people. You
Mm-hmm.
can use the gap when you're marking it out, but you want to look at it as fair value. And what does fair value mean? It means people believe that that portion is a fair value to sell or to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little important, I would say. VWAP is also an important tool to use. I use VWAP to kind of show me if the market's turning bearish or bullish. I'm not sure how you use it, but that's pretty much one of the ways that I try to use it.
That's pretty interesting. I feel like there's yeah, I mean, you could tell me your thoughts, but I feel like there would be an opportunity to co-host. So I'm still getting familiar with going live on TikTok, and I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
sure how the tools work exactly. But do they let the co-host share their screen? Have you tried that?
I don't know. Let me try. Because I actually just deleted. I might have my spy. Let me see. Live access needed to go live video as a guest. I don't know if you have to give me permission to do live access or not.
Maybe we could start. I mean, it's up to you, but maybe we could start working on how we could structure it, like so that you could share your screen and then help enlighten me as well as the other viewers.
Oh yeah, I would definitely love to do that for sure.
Okay, cool.
I actually just quit my job to go full-time day trading. Like I said, I've been kind of on and off um with trading, so I just now actually got back into it. So I'm trying to remember the strategies that I was using. Last year I did pull a pretty decent profit for last year. I actually made around 65,000.
Wow, nice.
But I was like super locked in. I had a job, but I was also super locked in. But then I swapped to doing framing, and it didn't allow me to trade. The only time I really got to trade was when we got rained out, or we just didn't have work for that day. So it was kind of like when you don't do it for a while, you kind of start to forget strategies and things like that.
Hmm.
So now I'm trying to pick back up the pieces where I left off
Hmm.
and start to actually, that's why I quit, to actually focus full time back on trading. Because I know there's a lot of money to make in this line of work.
I agree.
A
And
lot.
apparently, people in the live chat like the duel. Naomi said so, Sugar Free Boy, and they all like it. So it looks like it's a good idea.
Yeah, and I do teach classes too as well if anybody's interested. Um it takes me about 2 hours to pretty much I show you how to set up your account. I explain what a stock option is. I explain how to buy in. I explain how to read a chart. I explain how to pull key levels. How I like to teach is I don't like to cram a lot of information into people's heads because they start to get confused. Do you really think if you cram a lot of information in somebody's head in 2 hours, they're going to remember? Not really. So I kind of explain the most important things that you need to know.
Mhm.
I will explain the strategy I use, but most of the time I kind of like to let people pick their strategy, what strategy they want to use, because my strategy might not work for you and your strategy might not work for me.
Right, right.
So I do teach classes. Um, I do, I do charge. I'm trying to get to a point where I don't have to charge.
Mhm.
Because I would love to teach it for free. I would love to to teach classes for free for sure. But when now, since I'm just now starting to get back into trading and I left my job, I need to build up more well, how do you say this? More, I guess, income
Mm.
before I'm able to, because pretty much most of the day I chart, I look at the charts, I study, I do what I need to do. I'm locked in. I'm locked into trading. Um, but I do love to teach classes. I love talking to people. I love putting people on and helping them make money because schools don't teach this. They don't teach about finance. They don't teach um, about how to create your own business, which I think that they should.
Right.
And when you trade, you have a more of an outlook on how money works. When you go to work all day, and let's just say you make $150 a day, the other day I made $150 in 20 minutes. Not
Yeah.
trying to brag. I'm don't I don't want people to get me wrong. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to, put you down. But what I'm saying is I look at it as like, oh my gosh, like I got to go waste 8 hours of my day to make $150, and I just made $150 in 20 minutes.
Right.
In 20 minutes, you literally just made what you make in a day. So if you really wanted to and you're happy with the $150 you made, you don't have to trade for the rest of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? You look at this and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy.
Man, I agree 1000%. Like I was just talking about that earlier.
Like
I
it's so crazy. And me and my friends, we just had a talk about this. Like I said, like school is important, but like when they start teaching you like trigonometry and algebra and I feel like you should have a pretty decent understanding of math and English and how to write proper paragraphs, and you definitely need to know history, but like science and stuff like that, I'm kind of, I don't know, like science just doesn't. I feel like you need to know a little bit about your body, but like the mitochondria and photosynthesis and things like this, it's like, how is this going to help me succeed in life?
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like even when I first started framing, I'm 23 now. I'll be 24 next month. When I started framing, I was probably about 11, 12 years old, and it's like, yeah, you need to know math, basic math, but they teach you the stuff on the site. Most jobs teach you. They want to teach you their way and how to do things properly and how to do things their way. So
Mhm.
it's like, I feel like, in my personal opinion, they need to teach how to create your own business. They need to teach you about the stock market. I wasn't really interested in the stock market when I was that young because I was like, oh, I don't want to hold it for 50 years. And then I learned about day trading and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is interesting. Like people are making serious money off this. And the good thing about day trading is you could live anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. You could live in Florida. You could live in out of the United States. You could live in Canada. You could live in China. You could live wherever because you always are going to have a job. And you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. You're here at your computer making money.
And guess what I did?
What'd you do?
I just went and grabbed my passport because next year I'm going to go on a 1 year cruise.
Oh my. And see, this is crazy to me. It's crazy to me that you mentioned that because let's just say I work a regular job and I go on a 1 year cruise. It's like, okay, well, I don't have any income coming in, but you're going on a 1 year cruise. You could be on the cruise ship. Let's just say you have fun during the day, blah, blah, blah. You wake up early, 7:30, 8 o'clock. You trade for a couple hours, make your money, and then you go about your day. And then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. And you just made income.
Right. Exactly.
It's crazy. Like people don't think of this stuff.
Man, I'm super excited. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
That's crazy. That. Congratulations to you.
Man, I love it. Like, this has been like a game changer.
Oh yeah, 100%. This can change. People don't realize this trading can change people's lives. It's crazy, and they don't teach this. I've never been taught about this in school. I've never really even been taught about the stock market. I've been taught like about the basics. I'm talking about basics of the basics.
Did you
You
have
know,
anyone in your sphere of influence, like family members or friends, that had maybe an idea about how
oh
this works?
yes, my uncle, he is I don't so basically I don't know his job title. I know what he does is he takes clients. He doesn't take clients with less than $1 million, and he invests their money and he takes a percentage.
Wow.
Um, but unfortunately, in his contract, he's not able to talk to us about what he invests in, how to invest, things like that to family members or friends.
Really?
So he was never able to like, hey, go invest in this, or this is a good investment, or that's a good invest. He signed a contract basically, like he told me, I signed a contract saying that I cannot do this or else I will lose my job.
Really?
And he is very successful. I know. So he left the job about a year ago, and he was making about $400,000 a year. He retired,
Hmm.
but then he got another offer saying, "Hey, we want you to come work for we want you to come work for us." And he was like, it was such a good offer, I just could not decline it. So he didn't tell me what they offered him, but it must have been something crazy. Must have been something crazy.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I don't want people to think you have to be rich because let me tell you something. My great grandfather was an immigrant from Sicily. He came here with absolutely nothing. He came here with nothing, nowhere to live. He just came here with a plan that he wanted to make money. And he didn't speak any English. He only spoke Italian. That was it. And my which he's my uncle, he didn't have anything either. I mean, we grew up poor. We didn't grow up with much. Um but he went to school, not saying you have to go to school, but he went to school for finance, and he, created that kind of life for himself. He pushed, he did what he needed to do. He studied. And that's what the thing is about trading. I didn't have money. I didn't start with money. I started with $50. That was it.
Really?
That's all I started with was $50. And actually I made a lot of money off Palantir Technologies. I got into Palantir Technologies when it was at $16, and I bought a yearly contract. And you can go look at the price. You can go look at the price now. It's at like $150.
Man, see, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly I don't. Obviously, I just started 3 months ago, so I don't have any examples of trading something long term. But I've been
Yeah,
trying to explain to people that you can. So I'm glad you just mentioned that.
it's great. And the reason why I traded Palantir is because it got accepted into the S&P 500. And
Oh,
I knew it was coming. I was into it before it even got accepted. But I was like, okay, we have some big news about to come out that it's going to get accepted. A company, I want to say it was American Airlines that got dropped out of the S&P, and Palantir took its place. So I
mm,
was in it before, and I had a yearly contract. I had multiple yearly contracts actually. And this was so I was trading before Palantir, and I was making money, and I took a big risk. I'm not gonna lie. It paid off, but I would not do this. I pretty much used everything I had in my account to take that trade, which I probably shouldn't have, but it paid off, and I made a lot of money off of it. And that's the good thing about options is if you look at a stock and you're like, okay, this is a great idea behind it, and we have people backing it up. We have billionaires backing it up, and it's at like $10. To me, that's undervalued, especially if you have billionaires coming in there saying, hey, I back this stock. There's a great idea behind this. There's great potential. You don't have to get in for a year. You can get in for 3 months. You can get in for 2 months. You can get in for a week. You can get in for 6 months, whatever you decide to do.
so, do you mind if I ask how many contracts did you buy at the time?
I want to say I bought 10 contracts, and I want to say it was around 3,000 ish dollars. And I'll just tell you this, it was a 10x return.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I made a lot of money, but it took a little while. It took a while.
That is amazing, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Congra-
appreciate it.
Congratulations. That is amazing.
I,
Palantir, for those who don't know, is currently priced at 154 and change, almost
and
200.
I got in at like $15 and some change, 15 $16 and some change.
This is the reason why I'm trying to. Yo, this is important to learn, man. Like, this is really crazy. If you can find other opportunities or similar opportunities like he did with Palantir, like, That's what I'm looking for currently. Get in
So, do
early.
you want me to give you give you one?
Yeah. What do you have? What you got in
So
mind?
there's a company called Block. I haven't done research on it, but it did just get accepted into the S&P 500.
Yo, we can make that into a project.
So, with that being said, the S&P 500 is pretty much, for people who don't know, I trade the S&P 500 only because it is pretty much the top 100 stocks.
Mhm.
So I like to trade the S&P 500. Now, you can't just be a regular smegular company and get accepted into the S&P 500. You have to perform pretty good to get in there.
Mhm.
So if Block is performing good, it could be another Palantir opportunity.
Ooh.
It could definitely be an opportunity like Palantir, because if I remember correctly, I want to say when it got accepted, it went from like 20 something dollars to like $60. So that's a $40 move.
Hmm.
And if you go look at Block,
What's
if
the
you
ticker?
if you go look at Block, let me pull this up right now on TradingView. Block. Is this it right here? I don't think this is it. No, this is not it.
Yeah, we should. I think we should make that into a project. Imagine, imagine if all of us invested in Block. This is just a scenario. Imagine though, if we all looked into Block and we all pulled our time together, those who have a little bit of time to, available on maybe weekends or on your time off, and we're just all focused on finding out information about this company, this organization, and we're using that to our advantage. We're able to buy in low and ride this trend for the long term and end up cashing out, a significant return. That would be like an amazing story. Because this is true for so many other people that started back in the day. Imagine the Meta, the Facebook, those who invested in similar companies, the Googles, the Apples, and so forth. Man, this would be an amazing, amazing testimony. For those who have any questions, feel free to drop them in the live chat. Thank you. I just want to say
Definitely.
thank you for
Yeah, I would
every support.
definitely be willing to ask some questions. And the thing is about Block is it's up like, well, hold on.
Did you find the ticker? Like, what's the ticker?
It is XYZ.
XYZ. Let me duplicate this.
And it's up 42% for the past 3 months. And people who don't know, 42% on a stock option is it's insane. 42% on a stock option is nuts.
Which
I don't know if it's on TradingView. I just tried to look and I didn't see it.
is it? Let's see. Is it this one, the first one that has the NYSE
Okay.
exchange?
Yep. Here it is. Yep. It's $79.77.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is it.
But $23 up in 3 months for a stock on a stock option is crazy. Especially on a stock like that. On a stock like that, it's for a stock option. You're looking. Let's just see. Let me pull up my calculator, for example. Okay, let's just say for every dollar it moves up, you make $89. So that means if you multiply that times 24, because it's at $24, you would make roughly $2,136 off that, and that's only one contract.
Hmm.
So let's just say, for example, you had 10 contracts, right? So that would be, so you have 10 contracts. So what I say, we'll say 2,100 times 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's $21,000 you could have made right there in 3 months.
Yo.
21 grand in 3 months is what you would have made if you had 10 contracts. Now, a lot of people can't afford that. So even if you had 5 contracts, that's what? 21 divided by 2, which would be, you would have made $10,500 in 3 months.
Nice.
And that, to me, that's nuts. That's crazy. You divide that by 3 months, that means you're bringing in $3,500 a month. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Yo, I'm following you 1,000%. Do you have any idea what caused the spike and drop?
It got accepted into S&P 500.
No, I mean
So
back in
I honestly, I'm not too sure. I think that was probably when it came out and people were super invested and realized that, hey, this stock's really not moving that good. We're just going to go ahead and take our profits and sell out. But since it got accepted into the S&P 500, that means that we were performing pretty decent, and the S&P 500 considered to add it into the S&P 500. Now,
no, I
the
mean
pull.
I was asking about
I
block.
mean, yeah, no. I'm saying because it got accepted into the S&P 500, that was that spike right there.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now before it got accepted, like I said, it was probably because there was new buyers, people were coming in, and see, that's good. People think just because a stock drops, it's bad. Sometimes it is bad, but what usually happens is you have all these buyers behind it, and they realize, hey, we priced it way too high. So we have to do something called a pullback. We need a pullback, and we need to find something called true price. True price is where a stock pretty much needs to sit to move up in a healthy direction. When we do, like you see here on his chart, we did a massive pull up. That's not healthy. That's moving up way, way, way too fast.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
what happens there is you can see there's a pullback. So we pull back to around that level. Now we're trying to find a true level where we need to sit at to do an accurate and healthy move to the top.
Mm. Yo, I love this. And it's currently sitting at $79 and change.
So we definitely could see another pull towards the top, but I need to do my research and see what this company is about. I just heard about it because it got accepted into the S&P 500. So I'm going to do some research on it, see what their idea is, see if it's a good idea and worth investing in.
Yeah, I'll team up with you and work on this as a project. I like the idea. I
Oh,
like the
yeah. But Palantir, so let me pull this up. What is that way I can give y'all a good explanation on Palantir Technologies. So Palantir Technologies is a data analytics company that specializes in software platforms for big data analysis, primarily serving government and commercial clients.
Could you reread that again?
Yep. So Palantir Technologies is a data analytics company that specializes in software platforms for big data analysis, primarily serving government and commercial clients.
Mm.
It says that it was founded in 2003.
That's crazy.
And it says applications and impacts. Palantir software is used across various sectors, including healthcare, finance, and manufacturing. It has played a significant role in government operations such as vaccine distribution during COVID-19 pandemic and identifying tax fraud. However, the company has faced criticism for its involvement in surveillance and immigration enforcement, raising concerns about privacy and civil liberties. So, with that being said, if something comes out and they get sued, just expect the the stock to plummet a little bit. Usually when we have news come out like that, we're going to see probably a 20, we'll just say, actually, we'll say 15 to $30 drop. Now, usually what will happen there is people will sell off and new people will come in and pull it back up. That's pretty much for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody in here who's a new trader or even experienced traders, like he said, if you have any questions, just either DM me or send it in the chat. I'll answer them to the best of my abilities, and we'll go from there.
Yo,
I'm actually pretty glad you let me in this live.
man, yo, this was an amazing ad. Like this was definitely valuable, a value add for all the viewers, listeners, including myself. Yo, I just peeped for Block. The CEO is Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey. Let's see. XYZ. So Daniel Nagari, prior to founding XYZ, Daniel bought and sold the most valuable premium domain names in the market and has received recognition by Yahoo, TechWeek, and TechMotion. Let's see.
Yeah, this is
XYZ.
Jack Dorsey of that created Twitter and Square.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Daniel Nagari, founder and CEO. It says Daniel Nagari is. So we're going to look him up. We're going to look him up and see what businesses he has.
I'm telling you, it says the CEO is Patrick Dorsey, Jack Patrick Dorsey.
Let's see. Oh, where did we just go from here? Jack Dorsey? Jack
I'm telling you.
Dorsey? Let's see who he is.
Yep, Jack Patrick Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey. XYZ. Okay. Okay, he's an investor. He's a pretty big investor. Jack Dorsey Square announces Bitcoin payments as parent company. Company block jumps 10% SP. Okay. Okay, it seems like he's a. Okay, yeah, so it seems like he's a pretty big investor. Let's see. Jack Dorsey. What does he. Oh, so he's in Bitcoin too.
Yeah, this guy's the man. Like I watched a lot of documentaries on this guy, man. Like
So
soon
wait,
as I see
he
that,
oh
yeah,
my. Holy Jesus.
yeah. I
Okay,
love
Dorsey. Okay, so he's a co-founder. He co-founded it in 2009. Holy Jesus, he owns 43 million shares, which is valued around $2.5 billion. He owns 24.4% in Twitter. Holy, it says Dorsey's wealth primarily comes from his ownership in these companies, particularly Block.
yo.
So we have a yeah, we have a big investor in here.
Yeah.
So somebody must know something that we don't.
I'm loving this out there right here. This might turn out to be the move right here.
Oh my gosh, let's see. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. Doing just the slightest research. Wow.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to work on this as a
Oh
project to
yeah.
see what.
This says right here, as of 2025, it says that XYZ's FCF has increased by 486.1% and is considered to be a good investment.
Yo.
So, and it said it was considered to be a good investment since on a bottom line level. Okay, so yeah, it says it might actually be somewhat attractive at its current price. So Block Incorporated has diverse business segments with a strong revenue from Square and Cash App, despite slowing user growth from the. Okay. So wait, it looks like to me it has something to do with Cash App and Square.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. XYZ top level domain, which is a versatile, affordable domain extension introduced. Blah blah blah. Okay. What is XYZ block? Okay. Block. Da, 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 da. I wonder what it is exactly. What it is. Like what is its purpose? Research? No. Yeah, I would have to do some more heavy looking into this for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Block is a company that builds ecosystems focused on commerce and financial products and services. It operates through two main segments, Square and Cash App. So we have big businesses already linked to Block. The Square segment offers okay, I already read that. While the Cash App segment provides financial tools such as peer-to-peer payments and investment services. Additionally, Block Incorporated operates platforms like Tidal for music and BitKey for self-custody Bitcoin wallets. The company was formerly known as bro, do you know what it is?
What?
It's Square. You know Square, the payment, the little square things?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It said it was formerly known as Square.
Word.
And it changed its name to Block in December of 2021.
That's yo.
Oh, so you know them little squares you put your card in to pay at like,
Yeah,
like the
mobile pay.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's crazy.
So that's what it is. So it got accepted into the S&P. I guess it changed its name before. I guess somebody took over, changed the name and turned it into Block, but it's Square. That's what it is. It's Square. That's crazy. That's
That's
wild.
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm definitely down to.
Because so this is the thing. If it got accepted into the S&P, there's got to be some kind of big move it's going to make, or they're working on something and we just don't know. Because like I said, you can't get accepted into SPY if you're just some regular smuggler company.
Right.
So something's not adding up here. So somebody must know something that we don't know. Has to.
Facts.
We definitely got to do some work on this for sure.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'd
Imagine
definitely be down.
this could be crazy. Like
This
this
could
could
be
be
like a nutty move.
right. Yo, man, we could be laughing all the way to the bank.
Mm-hmm. Now, for the new traders, if somehow you just start trading and you do start becoming profitable, my thumb of rule, because you have to put your SIN when you get a broker, which is your social security number, so you will get taxed, and usually on capital gains tax, it's around 15 to 20%. To a certain extent, if you make more than a certain amount, I want to say it's like 70,000 ish, you move up. So my rule of thumb is for every $100 you make, you need to put 20 back for taxes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Definitely.
that's a rule of thumb. Say if you only get charged 15%. Okay, well that's fine. Now you got an extra 5% you were putting up that you get to keep.
Hmm.
I think that we definitely need to work together for sure.
I'm down, man.
I think we both have really good ideas and really good understanding for sure.
I'm down 1000% down.
I would definitely like to trade your strategy, try it out, give it a little try.
Mhm.
And I would definitely like you to, if you want, you could paper trade my strategy if you wanted. And for all the people in here who don't know what paper trading is, it's a really good tool to get into trading. So basically, what it is you're trading with fake money in an active market.
Let's do it.
We
Let's
we
do it.
we need to work together for sure. I think we could definitely make some big moves in this market, and we could definitely take some really good profits.
Yo, that would be nice. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm glad you tapped in and joined on the live, man, because this was great.
Oh yeah,
This
and if you want, if you do lives, and stuff like that, I'd be down to join in and be a co-host.
Yeah,
If that's up to you. If you don't want me to, I definitely understand. No hard feelings.
nah, man. Listen, we got to give the people what they want.
And it seems like the people like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely sees. I'm looking through the comments, and it seems like thank you for sharing. Yeah, no problem. If you have any questions, you can send me a DM. We could definitely talk more. I don't really text on TikTok, so if you want, I would definitely recommend downloading Discord. It's a really good app. I could actually get into a call with you and talk to you. I could share my screen so you can watch and see what I'm doing. Discord is a very good tool I use to teach on. It's very simple to use, very easy to use. And there's definitely a lot of perks to having it for sure. Discord is great. You could find so many communities in Discord. You could find trading communities, finance communities, psychology communities. You could find all kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend downloading Discord.
Yeah, I love Discord.
For the new people who just joined in, I see somebody new joined in. If you have any questions about trading or anything like that, just throw them in the chat, and me and Anthony will definitely try our best to answer them to the best of our ability. Anthony, you could let me know when I need to drop. You could let me know when you need to end. That's fine. We could definitely start up another live whenever you want to, and you could send me an invite.
Yeah, man. So like when let's talk about your availability.
Oh, I'm
When
available. I pretty much trade from about 8:30 to 12. Only reason being, so a lot of people say, "Oh, only trade New York session, trade New York session," which is 8:30. I'm in Mississippi right now. Um, so it currently is 10:10. So we're an hour behind New York. So I trade New York session just because it's super volatile and you can make a pretty decent amount of money. But usually when the correction happens is after New York session.
hmm hmm
So we'll start to see actually price start to stabilize a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much available. I'm available whenever. If you want to get into a chat and trade together, that's fine. If you want to, you know, talk at the end of the day, that's fine. Whatever. Really, I'm pretty much down for whatever.
Oh, that's dope, man. What do I call you? What do you want me to call you? I
You
just
you can call me E.
E? All right, cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 46. I'm
Oh,
46.
okay. Nice, nice, nice.
Yep, 46 large.
That's
Naomi, you in Florida? You in Florida, huh? It's 11. Yep. I know it's getting pretty late. Yeah, if you guys don't have any further questions, we could go ahead and end this live today, and then E, you and I could tap in with you. We can talk about scheduling different live sessions and having a different theme. I guess would
Oh
make
yeah,
more.
for sure. I would definitely like to do live trading as well. To be honest,
Okay. Uh,
definitely, I would definitely like to start getting into live trading and showing people, how I enter and how I exit.
yeah, that would be dope. That's a value for sure.
Oh yeah, I think we definitely need to talk more and see where we want to go and see what we want to do.
Yeah, and definitely we need to prioritize this block project.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking. I'm definitely about to do me some hard research and get some information, see what's going on.
Naomi said, "Whatever y'all do, don't leave her behind." We got you, Naomi. Never. We won't leave you behind.
We got you. I would definitely love to make to change everybody's lives and help them make money in the market and be successful. I think everybody deserves a chance to be successful.
Facts. 1,000.
As long as you can't have the mindset that you can't. You got to have that mindset where you're like, okay, nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to focus. I'm going to put my all into this. And guess what? If you fail, that's fine. Just know you put your all into it and you did your best and you tried.
Right.
And I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Um Naomi, you said I'm so glad I landed on this live. Glad you're in here to listen.
Right. Appreciate all y'all. Appreciate all the love, all the likes, all the support, all the follows. Man, y'all been phenomenal. Love it. Love it. Love it.
14.5K views. I mean likes. That's nice. I think personally that we got a pretty decent amount of people in here to actually listen and be active in the chat.
That's what's up, man. That's phenomenal. Thank you all again. Super, super appreciative for all the support.
I definitely appreciate it as well. And I guess just send me an invite whenever you're ready, and I'll jump back in here. I definitely appreciate you giving me the chance to jump in here and talk and you know talk to the people in the chat.
I'm glad you joined, man. I'm super, super, super glad that you did.
I'm glad you gave me the chance. A lot of people don't give me the chance to actually join in.
Nah, man, you have a lot of knowledge, experience that I mean, even in this short session you shared, um, and look at what turned out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing the collaboration, man. That's what's
Oh
up.
yeah, me too, for sure. I'm glad I found somebody who actually, has a decent idea of what they're doing. I think I wouldn't even say decent. I would say a great idea of what you're doing. I think you're doing good. I think you're doing great for how long you've been in here. I think you're doing a lot better than I was doing for sure.
I appreciate that, fam. Thank you.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
no problem. I hope everybody here has a good day. If Anthony's down, I'll join in here tomorrow. We'll answer some more questions. So definitely send this live to people who are interested in trading or have questions about trading. Like the live, and like I said, share it, get this live out, and we'll go from there. I definitely appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
You too, and y'all take it easy. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the mic right here. It was a pleasure. Glad E dropped in, co-host. Man, it was phenomenal. If you missed the nuggets that he dropped, and also the earlier discussion for this live, just send a DM and I will share the replay with you. No problem. All right, y'all, take it easy. We're out till tomorrow. Later. See you later. Thank you. Appreciate you, Naomi. All the support. You was holding it down. Good night. Have a good one. Later, everybody.